Hey y'all, welcome to the Style Chronicles. I wanted to share some current favorites with you guys. I know it's kind of the beginning of summer, beginning of June, so I thought I would just share a couple of things that I'm loving recently. I will start off with skin. And the first thing is the Elta MD Skincare UV Broad Spectrum SPF 46. This was recommended to me by my dermatologist. If you will remember from my skincare routine video, this was very prominent in that. I'm loving this. I ran out of the original one that I purchased about January, February, and I reordered online through Amazon because it is literally half price there versus what I paid at my doctor's office. But I am loving the way this wears underneath my makeup. It sets, it dries, it's there. It does not interfere with my primer or my foundation or anything like that. And I actually feel like it improves the texture of my skin. So I really do like that. So loving this, and this he suggested I use to prevent any more of my hyperpigmentation from darkening and also from getting new spots. So loving that very, very much. Next would be a primer. I don't typically use a primer year round, but in the summer I feel like I need something to help grip my foundation on my face because I am so oily. So I went back to the Laura Mercier foundation primer, which I love. It is not my favorite. My favorite is my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, but I'm loving this. It's light. It's lighter than the Smashbox, and I feel like it does grab onto my foundation, but without being as thick as like silicone feeling as the Smashbox is. So I love that for the summer. On top of that, and not every day, this is just when I want to look extra summery and glowy and bronzy, the Marc Jacobs Do You Dewdrops, which are beautiful. These suckers are so pretty. One little pump, and this isn't a full pump, I literally splattered out a little bit of that. One little bitty pump of this is beyond beautiful. Do you see the shimmer in that? It is so gorgeous, and just on the cheekbones, or just, I like to put it underneath my foundation and then put my foundation on top, and it just shines through the foundation. It's so beautiful. Makes you look fresh and just bronzed and just summery. Really, really pretty. Okay, next thing is the Tarte Shape Tape Color Corrector Concealer. Contour Concealer Corrector. There you go. So it took me a while to hop onto this because you see so much hype about things. It always takes me a while to grasp on. So I did not have the shade that I thought I would be, and the technician there suggested fair because he said I was very light, and the one that I was going for was actually a little too dark for me. So I purchased it on a whim, brought it home, and I actually really love it. I love the brightening effect that it gives right here. If you do the V right in here, it just brightens and smooths. You can't even see my pores when I have it on. I love it. If this was a foundation, because I would wear it just as a foundation, it would just fill in literally all the pores that you have. It is not my favorite concealer corrector, if you will. If you have dark circles, and you guys know I have dark circles, if you have dark circles, this does not cover dark circles the way you think it would because it's so thick. My MAC Pro Longwear Concealer actually covers my dark circles more. There's just more, I don't know what the right word is for it. I feel like the tone is better for my dark circles, if that makes sense. Because your dark circles are so personal to you. Some of them are more blue, more black, more pink, more purple, more red, even, you know, a little green in there. So because they are so, particular to one person, different things that work for other people are not always going to work for you because of the undertones, because of the skin pigments, or the color pigments, and because of the skin type. So it just really depends. You have to work to find that product that really does help you. And the tone that I have in the skin, the MAC Pro Longwear, I feel just covers my circles more than anything else I've tried. Just the color, the tone, it just blends those circles out. This though, I use on top of that, and I love it. And I can use it if I want to use it every day. Now it's not going to give me that flawless, like fancy look that I want on the weekends, where I'm totally like airbrushed, just, you know, extra. But for every day, this is a very, very nice. It does hide dark circles. It just does not take the shadows of those dark circles away. For me, it doesn't. It might for you. I love it though for the brightening that it creates. I think it's beautiful. It's flawless. There is that. I have one fail, and that is the Estee Lauder Double Wear, what is it called? Liquid to Go, I think that's what it's called. It's not on here. But this is the shade that I typically wear. Estee Lauder Double Wear is my holy grail foundation. That is my hands down, absolute, beautiful, flawless finish foundation. It's not my everyday. I can't wear it more than 1 or 2 days in a row or it breaks me out everywhere, but it is beautiful, flawless, love it. So I thought I would try this because it's in a compact form, and you push this little button, a little bit pops out, and it has a sponge that you put it on with. I applied this all over initially, and it, for me, works no better than a tinted moisturizer. It covered nothing. I have a lot of pigmentation, covered nothing. I was like, what is this doing? Where did it go? What is it doing? So if you need very, very light coverage, this is nice. If you need to just kind of, even out your skin tone because you've got a little bit of color, a little, certain things, excellent, but not for anybody like me who wants a very full coverage foundation. And then I looked at it, it's like flawless touch up to go. Even then, on top of what I've already done to my face to touch up and go, it doesn't contribute anything to my face or my look. And once I'm done and I'm set and I've got all my powders on and all my, contour and everything, I don't want to touch up with a foundation because it's flat. It's not going to have the dimension that I've just put on my face. So I don't know. This was just a fail for me. It did not do anything I expected it to do. Okay, next up, white eyeliner. I go back and forth. This disappears for months on end in my collection, and then it'll pop out again because I just feel like I need that extra brightening on my waterline. This has come out, and it's been out continuously for about 3 months now. I just love the way that it looks on my waterline. It's bright, it makes my eyes look bigger, and I really love it. And it's the MAC Eye Kohl in Fascinating, which is just a white eyeliner. You guys have seen it thousands of times. Okay, and then next up is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, which I'm also absolutely loving for this wing, liner that I like to do. Now, I like something that has a tip like that where I can just stamp on my outer, I can stamp my wing on my outer eye and drag, and that just does it perfectly, and then you can use it to fill in. The other thing that I like about it is it does stay all day. It does not budge. It's there. It doesn't end up on the top of my lids or anywhere in my creases, and it doesn't smudge when I wipe my eye. I love the way that it stays. And I found this because I was on the hunt for the Maybelline one that I've been loving for years, but I can never find in store, and this is just perfection. It is way better than that one. It is darker. It is blacker. It is just beautiful, rich, rich, rich black. And it stays. The Maybelline one is great for every day, don't get me wrong, but I just can't find it ever. And this is a little bit more expensive, but it is worth the money. I love this eyeliner. Love it. Okay, next up, this eyeshadow palette, which I've been wearing lately, the Too Faced Sweet Peach. It took me a while to get onto this. I thought there's no way I'm gonna wear that much peach. I don't like peach. I don't like orangey, based anything. And the truth is there are some orange based shadows in here. I mean, they'll pop out at you. Right in this area, kind of the center. There are some very orangey, peachy. I won't wear, like this one is called Just Peachy. I won't wear that. It's too much for my eyes, but as a blush with a little brush, it looks really beautiful. What I'm loving are these kind of colors right here, the neutrals, the Puree and Summer Yum color that's right here, these darks for the outer edge, and then this caramelized, which I have on today. It's just caramelized with peaches and white peach. Peaches and cream and white peach right here. So I'm loving that for summer. I just feel like it warms up my eyes a lot, and I like very warm toned shadows as it is. There's just, like I said, this Just Peachy and this Candied Peach, which are really the only two peachy peachies in there, like super peachy colors. They, for me, work better as light blushes. Of course, I like pink tone blushes, so I do have to add a pink, but they work better nonetheless. I like them. Okay, the next thing is the Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow Palette, which essentially is the same thing, but in a face powder form. It's got a bronzer, a peachy blush, and a highlighter right here, and then the bronzer's over here. The bronzer is very shimmery, so it does go on a little shimmery, but the shimmers dust off. It is very, very pretty. The peach color to the blush is very pretty. It's very orangey for what I typically like, but I'm liking it as a topper blush. So on top of whatever, and there's the highlight. The highlight is beautiful. On top of whatever blush I've applied for the day, whatever shade of pink, I like to brush this on top. But I'm enjoying the bronzer and the highlight. I just think the highlight is gorgeous for the summer. If you like that full-on highlighted effect, it's really, really pretty. And so then I will show you my next favorite blush. This is the Extra Dimension blush from MAC in Sweets for My Sweet, which is pretty. It's a very kind of deep raspberry colored blush. It's really, really pretty. I will swatch it right here for you. You can see how pigmented it is and how much it pulls. It's just beautiful. And it's got its own kind of shimmer to it, so it kind of highlights on its own if you brush it up. So if you apply it on your cheeks and then you kind of just swipe your brush upward, it kind of highlights that highlight area for you without having to do so much work, which is really nice. Okay, next up is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Reserve Your Cabana. This goes through periods where it's super popular on YouTube and then it kind of gets forgotten and then it gets pulled out again when highlighting is not so intense. I like this for everyday highlight. It's just something in here that highlights, but it's not in your face like the Marc Jacobs or the Too Faced highlight where it's so, you know, bright and pigmented and just like moonbeam on your skin. This is very light. You can see I'm hitting pan on it and it's already kind of dusting away. But here for me and my kind of fair skin, it's just a good highlight powder. There's no bronze tone. It's right here. There's no bronze tone to it at all. It is all very light and it does have a little bit of shimmer to it. So it just kind of brightens up that area without too much pigment, color, kind of glittery look. So really nice. Like products, the one that I have on right now, which is MAC's Private Reserve Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color. It is not a stay put all day long. It does come off. It comes off on my cups as well, or when I wipe my mouth, but it is nice because it grips onto your lips and that color is just so pretty. It's a really pretty pinky red, if you will, for the summer. Also, the MAC Shock Value Pro Longwear Lip Pencil, which is a beautiful shade of pink. I absolutely love this for the summer, just by itself, like with nothing else. And if it's too drying, I'll put chapstick on top, but I love the matte kind of color and the dry kind of look, but then the bright pop at the same time. So if you're super bronzed and you do this kind of matte, dry looking lip, it looks really pretty, I think. But of course, you know, you don't want your lips to be dry, so you put chapstick or lip balm on top. So that, and then on top of that, or by itself, I love MAC's Retro Matte Relentlessly Red Lipstick, which looks really, really pretty. It's a very pretty, very vibrant shade, and there that is right there. It's a good, different red tone. So it's red, but it's pink. But it's not like, you know, so red, but it's not so pink. It's not fuchsia either. It's just a really good in between. And on top of that lip liner, it looks beautiful. It changes the tone a little bit. It kind of makes it a little bit more bright pink, not so much red, but at the same time, it's a great way to do like the ombre lip. If you line your lip in the Shock Value and then kind of dot this in the middle, it kind of blends together, but it's got that ombre effect at the same time. Really, really nice. And then because you guys know I match my blushes to what I have on, I like Relentlessly Red with this MAC. This is the Apple Red blush. I love that. And then for Shock Value, I love this Azalea. Do you see the Azalea shade? I love that. And then for Relentlessly Red, I really like this one over here. Right there. It's really, really pretty. And that one is, I forget what it is. Dolly Mix. Dolly Mix is really pretty for that. So you guys know I match my skin, my lip color tones to my blush to just kind of make it flow a little bit better. My eyeshadow takes on a direction of its own, but this all together looks cohesive on my face. So that's questions about my hair in videos, and the last one I did, I got a lot of questions because you guys said it was shiny and pretty, and I try very hard to keep the shine in my hair, although having dark hair helps out a lot because dark hair, browner, you know, the blacker your hair, the more it reflects light. Blonde hair, lighter hair just kind of absorbs the light, doesn't really reflect it back very much. Black hair will just reflect light back. So the more you do to keep it shiny, the shinier and crazier it's gonna look. It'll look glossy at times. But there's a couple of things that I know I do use. And right before I did that video, I tried this. It was just a sample pack that I had, and I was like, I need to get it off, you know, get it out of my drawers. So I put it in the shower and I used it that night. And it's the Kerastase Chroma Rich System Aqua Ionic Conditioner. And it's a luminous softening treatment mask for highlighted or color treated hair. And that's all it was. I mean, I put it on like conditioner. I washed my hair with shampoo, put it on like conditioner, and loved it. The way I felt when my hair was drying, I was like, wow, my hair texture feels so nice. And then styling it the next day, I kept thinking, this is nice. It's so manageable. It felt good. My hair for like 3 days felt healthy and just light, but not, you know, when you use like conditioners that strip your hair, that are deep cleansing, where they kind of remove all the things that are in your hair. When you use conditioners like that, a lot of times my hair will just feel limp and just not really feel like anything special. And that's how it had felt up until I used this, because for the 3 or 4 days before I used this conditioner on my hair, I kept saying, oh, it feels so limp. Like it wasn't cooperating with me. And I thought, it's the beginning of summer, it's getting really humid. It's gotta be the humidity outside. It wasn't the humidity. My hair needed something. And when I put this on it, it just soaked it up. So I'm run out and purchase this because I just love what it did to my hair. The way that it felt for the days after I used it was amazing. And that's how your hair should feel. And a lot of times what I do is I will buy super cheap conditioner shampoos because I'm sharing it with my kids. They now use whatever I use, and they waste it. My son likes to make bubbles in the tub, or my daughter, you know, thinks she needs to use half a cup to wash her hair with. I purchased, the last time I had my hair cut, I purchased my favorite Paul Mitchell shampoos, and I literally got them home. I used them like 2, maybe 3 times, and then my son bubble bathed in the shampoo, and it was like a minty, it's the tea tree one, and he got out like, why did you buy that shampoo? I hate it. It makes me burn, and it smells like mint. And I was like, well, I didn't buy it for you. I didn't buy it for you to waste. The next thing is the Chi 44 Iron Guard. I recently pulled it out of my collection and started using it again. And I just like the way that it makes my hair feel. And my hairdresser is really big on iron guards and just protecting your cuticle, you know, your hair and your ends and everything from more breakage, and your cuticle when you're, you know, putting more heat on it. So I go back and forth. I purchase them and then they end up in my drawer for like 4 or 5 months, and then I'll pull it out and use the rest or something. But I used up the other one that I had, and this one I found at TJ Maxx yesterday for $2. It's not the full size, but it was cheap, and I thought, you know what, I liked it anyway when I used it, so I'll purchase it now and get a full size later. And I do like that. Before I go in with my hot iron on my hair, I just spritz it all over, whether it's newly washed hair or to, you know, second day hair. So the last thing that I will show you that I feel like has really helped my hair a lot is my new hot iron. Now my iron died on me, my straightening died on me mid-hair, so I straightened half of my head and then the other half, and it just, I kept running it through and it wasn't doing anything, and then it was cold, and I was like, oh, this is great. It literally and on Facebook and some of my hairdresser friends about what suggestions you guys would give me for what I needed to purchase next, because I've only always used Chi. Since Chi came out, that was all I ever used, and my Chis had lasted me considerable amount of time compared to, I think, a lot of other people's, because this last one was like 7 years old. So I had a lot of great feedback on the Paul Mitchell Neuro, and I know that this is what my hairdresser uses when she trims my hair and straightens it, so I knew already the effect that it had on my hair, and I knew, you know, I was familiar with it. So I went out and purchased it, and I am absolutely loving it. It's got the heat temperature display there, and then the on button on the inside, and you can adjust the heat here. And it's got these plates that glide very, very nicely. You can use it to curl. I've done my daughter's hair with it, and she loves it. But I just felt like this was the smartest choice, being that I didn't want to purchase another Chi, because I couldn't, you know, it's just, I'd had so many, it was time to move on, try something different. And I had some experience with this as it was, this is what I got. And I feel like it, because I'm using a lower, like I literally turn it on, it's 360 degrees, you can go move it up to 450, but I turn it on and at 360, it does my hair fine. I feel like I don't need the extra heat. Now there are days where I feel like it's too humid, or I feel like my hair's not cooperating, so I will adjust higher, but I've only used 450 one time, and that was, I feel like, way too hot. It straightened my hair beautifully, but it was way too hot. But I also feel like it leaves my hair a lot shiny, and I feel like I'm not overheating it as much or breaking it as much as I was with my Chi. I hadn't realized how old that thing had gotten. It was just old. Those are my current favorites that I thought I would share with you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.